You can hear it running, squeaking. Squeaky, squeaky, needs a new fan motor. Howdy everybody in YouTube land. This is a little bit different of a video today. Something I typically don't do videos over. I need to blow the leaves out of here. But this video is going to be an air conditioning related video. Well, heat pump related video. Because during the great polar vortex of late 2022 when it was below zero, the fan motor decided it wanted to die and started squealing and squalling. So I need to get the part numbers off the motor so I can order a new one. I'm sure the local supply house has it, but they only sell to licensed contractors for obvious reasons. So it's still good, but it definitely is squeaking and squalling, so I definitely need a new motor. So I'm gonna get all the info I can off of that motor. It looks like it's a GE. It's probably the OEM. It's a Goodman unit. Copeland scroll. Alright, there's the info on the unit. This is my unit. It's serial number 30,000 BTU. Which is what, 2.5 ton? R22, yeah, that's gonna be fun. Let's see, when was this made? 2004. This thing is almost 20 years old. Yep, 2004. Alright, she's an oldie. This thing was manufactured when I graduated high school. So that's been a minute. You typically don't see these kind of videos on my channel because I don't do HVAC work, but I'm going to have to figure out what's going to take to replace the fan motor. Those look like they're going to be fun to get off, so I'm going to need new bolts. I have to cut those off. So, yeah, there's leaves in here that have to come out. This whole unit needs cleaned. Alright, so let me get all the info on the motor so I can get it ordered. Alright, now that we got the parts in, so I have a new run cap, of course. The new electric motor is in that box. And just in case this blade is completely frozen solid onto the shaft, which chances are it probably is, I also got a new blade. So the box is a little beat up in shipping, so we'll have to see how it's going to work out. So, alright. And as before you service any electrical equipment, you always want to, pull the disconnect. So now I'm going to go ahead and start taking all these screws out. Then, before I even pull that motor out, I want to measure the blade depth. Because the last thing I want to do is try to figure out, okay, well, where do you set the blade depth? Well, I'm not an HVAC technician, so I'm going to do it the best way I know how, by taking original measurements. Using that piece of crap little tool there. And then we're going to replace the motor. So, alright, time to get it apart and see what we got going on in here. Alright, so before I get started and go any further, upon quick inspection, it looks like the cap was replaced once in the past. We had completely different screws all the way around this thing, so yeah, that's fun to deal with. However, it looks like we have 3 wires. We have a purple, we have a black, and a brown. Well, the brown's going to be the run cap, which, yeah, that looks about right here. So that's the run cap. Purple goes into the defrost board, likely cuts the fan off, and then black goes into the contactor at this point here, which is pretty standard. It's pretty traditional. So, alright, so now we got to get this cover off, which is going to need a little bit of persuasion. Alright, so I got the old motor off. It's just kind of laying over there. And yeah, it's kind of locked up. It's not doing too good. So now I have this motor in place. I'm getting ready to put the bolts in. Had to fish the wires through that pipe there. The chase supports all the wires so the blade don't hit it. So we're doing that now, and I'm going to go ahead and get the blade mounted. And again, I didn't even fight with that old blade. No way. I'm just going to put the new one on. So, and the old blade was bent anyways because I did a measurement all 3 around, and yeah, so it's about 3 1/4 from the top here is where it's supposed to be. So that's where we're going to mount the new one. All right, the new motor's installed, the new blade's installed, adjusted, and yeah, that's how a motor is supposed to be. Double check the RPM ratings. It's close because the motor's been discontinued, so I had to get a sub. And this one has 810. I think the original is 815, but the horsepower is exactly the same. Everything else matches up. Now, the service manual says this thing is supposed to have a 40-5 in it. Someone put a 45.5, and it's probably something someone grabbed off the truck, and 45 was close enough. But it's supposed to have a 45 or 45, and that's what I ordered. So there's the new one. Although, to be honest, that's a jarred. It's not terrible. I'll check it with my capacitor checker and make sure it's still good, because if that cap is still reading within spec, I'm inclined to leave it alone and just keep that one on hand as a spare. Because the last thing you want is, you know, July and it's 95 degrees outside, then that cap blows and you don't have that one on hand. So I might leave that one off to the side. We'll see. But in the meantime, I think we're just about ready to get this fan motor back installed. And yeah, everything should be good from that point. I just put the 2 screws in here to hold this control panel back up so it wouldn't be flopping around in the breeze and damage the wires, because the last thing I want to do is chafe those compressor cables and reversing valve wires against the metal. So that would be all kinds of bad in many different ways. So yeah, it's back on the side. So all right, so let's get this guy put back together. Oh, and you haven't noticed, there's a lot of dogs in this neighborhood. They drive me crazy. All right, time to get her back on. All right, fan is installed, back in place. There's a screw stuck in the crack there, so there's not much I can do there. I got the fan wires tacked in where they need to go, because I just want to test this thing first. So you're probably asking, well, why don't you just call an HVAC guy to come out here and do that? Well, the problem is, well, the closest one to me would be Ted Cook, or Anti-DIY HVAC, if anybody's watched his channel. And you know how much he hates the homeowner working on these things, and I'm the stereotypical homeowner working on these things. Now, granted, I kind of have a little bit of a technical aptitude, obviously, but yeah. So the other thing too is I live in an area that HVAC people are very few and far between. They're booked out for a while, and it's very expensive. So if it's something I can fix on my own, I'm going to fix it on my own. Now, I do not have, you know, if there's a refrigerant problem, then that's outside of my wheelhouse. I'll have to call somebody. But if it's an electrical problem, I can handle that. So anyways, here we go. Yay, fan. It works. A lot quieter too, holy crap. That's certainly an awesome feeling. It's a 20-year-old unit just about. If I can get a few more years out of it, I'll be good. Well, and there it is. So hopefully, yeah, this one here is definitely, I'll get the wires off of it here in a minute. Yeah, let's see how seized that one is. Yeah, it's done. So anyways, here's the old motor. I got to get rid of that. So hopefully you all learned something from this. So I do these videos for fun. This is an HVAC related video, which I'm not in the HVAC field, but why not? So anyways, if you found this useful or helpful in any way, I'd appreciate it if you gave me a thumbs up and a like and a subscribe and all that fun stuff. So hopefully y'all learned something with that, and that's pretty much it for this quick little video. I think it wasn't much to it, just a little bit of repair, homeowner special, homeowner fun, because that's what we homeowners do around here, especially when you're an electronics engineer. Anyways, If you have a comment, please feel free to leave one. And until next time, guys.